Hey, hey, how are you? I am just testing out, making sure everything is good. I think we're live. Happy. Awesome to see you. Welcome to podcast number 3. That is 3 days in a row we're doing the podcast. This is super cool. If you're hopping on, give me some comments down below. I may or may not be able to see them, but it depends. But yeah, super awesome to have you here. Uh, One of the things that I have just learned. So this is, and I hope you take this journey. This is actually why I'm just going to be going live because I just want to take everybody with me on this journey. I mean, I never done podcast before. This is new. I'm figuring it out. How does it work? And one of the things that I do realize is that not everybody shows up. And actually, there is okay. So the person that was actually on the call with me was supposed to be on the call with me. She just calling me now. That's like, anyway, we're here now, guys. What I would like to talk about, first of all, super awesome that you're here. If you are here, please make sure that you love and like and follow so that you get notifications when I'm going to be coming on. As I said, I'm not going to know exactly what time because it depends on who I have on the call. Sometimes they're in Costa Rica and sometimes they're in New Zealand. So it's going to be different times of the day. But anyhow, what I really want to talk about today, guys, because you know how my passion is travel and how I lived in many different countries. And I hope that a lot of you guys are also super excited about traveling because I just think everybody just needs to freaking travel. Can we just travel? Like, just go. And they say, oh, I'm afraid. We're afraid of what? What's the problem? Right? So I would love for more people to travel. So what I want to do today, I want to give you some ideas about how can you actually do it. And give me down in the comments if you actually done some traveling. I would love to read about that too, where you've been, what's your experiences. But let me try to unpack a little bit what that could look like and where do you start, right? So because yeah, sure. I mean, you could. I believe you could go anywhere and just hop on the plane and you'll be good. But that's not where everybody's coming from. So I would like to inspire you guys and kind of dream and see, oh, if I were to travel, what would that look like? And I mean, like not just like travel, go on a holiday for 2 weeks, but why don't you go there for a while? And go there for a year or 2 years or 5 years. So I don't know, just go and don't know when you go back. That kind of thing. Um, Anyhow, so let me take you down on this journey. So, because there's so many ways you can do this, right? But I think that one of the first things you gotta get really clear on, right? Why? Like, why would you like to do that? Like, what's pulling you? Like, if I say, oh, if what are the 5 places you will love to live? I mean, I know people that love to go on a holiday to Spain, but they like to go on a holiday, and then when they come back, they're happy to be home. It's like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay for 2 weeks, but my home is here, right? So if you're one of those that would like to travel, like, what would be your reasons for that? Is it some people? I mean, right now I'm in the Arctic Circle. I have people around me who would like to escape the winter, right? And the cold, and they would like to live in warmer climate, and that might be a reason, right? But at the same time, maybe that warmer climate is not like 40 degrees, right? So what is it, right? So I would encourage you actually to get like a pen and paper. I mean, I journal a lot. I write a lot. That's kind of how I communicate with myself. So I would just start to dream like, what are 5 reasons where you would go? You want to like, would it be like you want to be somewhere in the snow? Do you want to have seasons? Like, I can tell you that like now I'm in a place where we have big season differences, right? Where it's like winter and no sun and summer and sun 24 hours, right? And for those of you in Canada, where I am, our weather is very similar to the Toronto weather, that kind of, climate, right? And but then like on Saba, it was pretty much the same. It was like just not a big difference, there might be a little bit more rain. There's a dry season and a rain season, and now they had a lot of rain in the dry season. So who knows, right? Anyhow, so just play with it. Like really just start to write down where would I like to go? Would I like to go here and there? And for what? Do I like the outdoors? Do I want to be in the city? I mean, London is great. I mean, any metropolitan, gosh, you got theater and concerts and museums and and just all this, like what are the things you're looking for? Um, so I'm gonna write some reasons down, and then write some places that you have in mind, right? And then because I really believe in the power of feeling what you are creating, right? So in that sense, what I would do as well, I will also start to think like, how would I feel if I was there? What would that feel like? What would it feel like to be on a beach if that's what you want? What would it feel like to walk around in London and just go to markets and enjoy the day, in the city? Like, what does that feel like? Because remember, when the mind doesn't know the difference between a thought and an actual experience, right? So if you can think it, the body doesn't know. The body gets just as excited as you were actually in the place, right? So you want to really do the emotions on this. So that's the number one. And that's just kind of to really kind of to like, just bring everything in, right? Um, we actually did like a big course on this like years ago. Because the other thing too, so when you've done like your overall, yeah, great, all this kind of more like bird's view on things. The next thing I will go into is more like in detail, right? Um, and what I mean in detail is like more specific about the climate, right? Do I really want to live somewhere where it's like 40 degrees all year round? Do I want to live in a country where I don't understand the language? And most places, like for example, when I was, for example, in Mauritius, the many people speak English, but a lot of the small talk was in French, right? So you can totally get far by on English, but it's good to know French because you miss out that small talk, right? So there's kind of things like that that I would definitely also kind of think about, like what does that mean if I don't speak the language? Uh, and maybe you can learn it. I mean, yeah, like today I was at the school and I was teaching somebody who's learning Norwegian, and I just installed Duolingo on his phone. It's like I said, 5 minutes a day. You can learn a language pretty quickly today using different apps, right? So, but that's something to think about. Culture, healthcare. Is there healthcare there, and what does that look like? Um, then of course you have like a lot of good places too. Maybe you want to move to, say, if you want to move to like a Caribbean island or some kind of island, they go, okay, which of the islands are tax free or like tax havens, right? Can I move there? You got Panama, Cayman Islands. What does that look like? So there's a lot of different things you can actually consider when you do it, right? And another thing that I would also, depending on where your passport is from, I would definitely look at where uh, like for example, if you have a Dutch passport or an English passport or a French passport, you have overseas territories that you can go to, right? So there are like some Caribbean islands. You have a UK passport. Okay, great. You're welcome. So also look into that, because that means like immigration wise, like for example, if you have a Dutch passport and you travel to the Dutch islands in the Caribbean, you get 5 years as soon as you come there, right? Like you need to get a job and things like that, but you get 5 years of immigration right away. So look into these things. Are you French? Well, look into the French islands, right? So to look at things like that, and also because you will then also have the benefit of speaking the language. Yeah. So these are kind of and of course, you have kids, you have to think about education. This is the other one too, unless you're going to do homeschooling. But if you're going to do homeschooling, you got to think about that too. So anyway, this is a long list. I'm just giving you guys like some snapshots for what that can look like, right? Uh, the next thing, of course, is that you have to think about is to start to embody this whole thing. You gotta start to embody doing it. Like you gotta this is the same. I really believe so. In anything that you do, you need to really sit down and visualize it and feel gratitude for it and work on it. And of course, you got to also take action. You can't just sit on the bed and go, okay, here's me living in the Maldives. You got to do more than that, right? You got to start to take actions. Like you got to start to figure out, okay, what can I do over there? Like, what does that look like, right? So, but once you found your spot, you say, okay, I would like to, or maybe you have a short list, right? These are the places I want to go, right? Number one, start to be grateful for where you are. Like, start to look around you, be grateful for this. Start to embody and seeing yourself being in the new place and be grateful for that. And then the other thing, and this is so freaking important: do not let anybody steal your dream. Do not let anybody steal your dream. If that's your dream, you go for it and you keep on going. Maybe it will take you a while to get there, but you don't give up. That is your dream. You do it. You go. Don't stop. Don't stop. And you need somebody to root for you. You fucking send me a message, and I'll be there for you. I'll be there. I'll be right next to you, and I'll tell you, do not stop. That's your dream. Go for it. Your dream might change. That's fine. That's fine. Then you change your dream. But if you think or you believe that you should be doing something, going something, or whatever, you go ahead and do that. Go for it. Go for it. Stand tall. And it's not going to be easy. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but you're definitely going to get there. But you got to keep on going. You got to believe in yourself. And if you need help, I'm here. Always. I'm like with people who wants to do something different. I'm like, okay, I'm your biggest advocate. I'll be right here. I'll be your support. I'll help you to make it happen. Yeah. I hope you all can see this. Actually, I can see there's no comments. So I don't know. I can't. Maybe I can't see the comments. I don't know. All right. The last thing I want to talk about, if you wanted to travel, right? Because the question is also like, how do I get there? What do I do? All those things. Yeah. So what you need to be doing is to start to think about what is the different options. If you are very young, then one of the ways you can travel is to travel through an organization or through a program, right? So when I was 18, I never been on a big plane in my whole freaking life, only like the small, like little propeller planes. I was like, okay, let me. I traveled with an organization, right? That's how I got to United States. And the good thing about the organization is that they're going to help you. They're going to be there for you. You might get some training on what it's like to live in this new country you're going to. They might have like a meetup after 3 months, and or they might have like a buddy system. So you're going with an organization or a program is a very good way if you're young and you haven't really done a lot of things on your own. I really recommend that if you're young. I mean, because that means that you at least have somebody to call and somebody who's on the ground that knows what's going on, that you're not completely on your own. So that's one way of doing it. The other one is that you work locally, right? So, for example, when I was a dive instructor, I was working locally on Seva as a dive instructor. Yeah. So I work for a local company and local salary. And got covered by local healthcare and whatever, just local things. Yeah. And that way it's very, very cool. Those jobs, depending on what it is, may or may not be easy to get, depending on what are you looking for and what are your transferable skills, like what can be used there. The other one is, of course, working remotely, which may or may not be very easy today. Well, it is actually. It's a lot of work remote. When you work remote, it means that you work for a company typically, and you get paid to do so, right? Or you can also do freelance, like Upwork, Fiverr, those kind of things. I don't know if it's because I live on an island. I find it is hard to Upwork on those. Actually, it takes a couple of rounds to be approved in there. I thought it was like, oh, I can just put up my CV on Upwork and then I got a job, right? But that's actually not the case, because they actually go through and there's like tons of hoops and loops and things, and I don't know. I looked into that, and I looked into Fiverr, and there was a couple of other companies that also was doing some freelance. I looked in, like, you could do some testing and things like that. Oh my gosh, and they pay like, I don't know, there's like $10. I was like, what for what? This is crazy. So then, and then it's the other option, right? For example, what I do, which is working online and have my business online, right? So I work with affiliate marketing. You can do affiliate marketing. I don't want to say don't do it, but I would say at this point, because what I'm picking up, what's going on, if you haven't done drop shipping, Shopify, and all those kind of things by now, I think affiliated marketing, digital products is a much better way to go, because you don't deal with any kind of product stuff. And I think that is super beneficial, especially if you're going to be traveling and doing different countries and things like that. Yeah. And that's what we do. We are direct sales, right? And what we do, like my organization is literally blasting through all kinds of records every single month at the moment. It's like the momentum is huge. And remember, when you do want to have a business, you want to, if you can jump on the momentum times, it's a good time to jump on. So that's what I do. You will see it if you look inside of Genius Connections. In there, you will see a lot about it, right? And you can also just reach out to me to learn more about what I do. I done the same business since 2019. It's like I'm like, because I looked into so many things, and of course I had a couple of shiny symptoms, what's it called, shiny object syndrome, where I've been going for other things or whatever. No, let me go check that. Let me check that. See, I always come back to the same company. I always come back to the same company that I've been working with since 2019. Always. And it's funny, and it's like, damn, it's like, I thought that was going to be the other one. No, because guess what? Those quick rich schemes are not freaking right. It's not true. No, you always got to work. You got to put the hours in. It doesn't matter. You got to put the hours in. That's how it works, right? And then people also say, oh, Medina, how long does it take? Girl, I don't know. Maybe you come in and you just have like your transferable skills, and you will do something in 6 months that takes others 2 years. Who knows, right? And some people are going to be able to say, you know what, I got 14 days off work, so I'm going to just go 8 hours a day for the next 2 weeks. I mean, who knows, right? So it really is going to be 20. There's no doubt, though, of course, as everything, as the hours you put in, the more you put in, the faster you go. That's the same. That's all over all over. So it's the same thing. So the more hours you put in, the better it is. As you can grow a business faster. But what is important? Yeah, things are important. Like, are you coachable? Or are you going to watch a video that tells you, go and do X, Y, Z? Are you going to watch it and go, I don't need to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to skip to the next video. Because that means you're not implemented. That means you're not listening. You're not following. Like, the past is already there. And of course, one of the things that, like, what we teach in my academy is personal branding. You got to be you. Like, see all the stuff I have around on this thing, on the podcast, like the back said podcast and it's pink, and that's all me. That's all me. That's just my things, right? But you can do your things. You can have pink elephants. What does it matter? Whatever you want. It's all cool. Anyway, so yeah. So I just wanted to give you guys. Maybe it's too much. Maybe I'm speaking way too fast. Tomorrow we're gonna have some interesting people on. I'm not gonna say it just in case she doesn't show up. But there should be some really cool calls coming up, and so stay tuned. And thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna be hopping on like every day for the rest of the month, at least, and then maybe more. I mean, maybe more. I'm learning this, and thank you so much for being part of the journey and figuring it out. Right? Yeah, man. Life is too short to kind of say what if. No, get it out there. Do it. And as always, if any of you guys are looking for an online business, you want to expand, or you want to have another income stream, or if you want to look at what the frick I'm doing, if you want to be on my team, you want to sit at my table, just reach out to me. You know what I do these days? I'm like, yeah, I can send you a bunch of videos, but you know what? Let's hop on a quick call, 15 minutes, whatever. You and me, we hop on a call, we're done. And I can tell already, because the thing is, I want to also preserve my time. I want to work with people who is like, you are like super cool. I love what you do. I love who you are. Like I'm so inspired by so many people doing many things, and also what people want to do. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? I'm like, yes, that. Okay, let's make that happen. Let me help you become that person who's like the one who's like stepping up and saying, I want to be this. I want to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be here. Let me help you make that happen. Anyway. I think you got my point. I got it. Maybe one of the things I should do is like calm the fuck down. Anyway, yeah. So if you like to have a chat, just reach out to me whichever way you can, whether that's a comment down below or it's a DM or whichever way it is. My WhatsApp is around here somewhere. And thank you so much for tuning in. That was episode 3. Landed with a lot of fashion and things. And let me know where you want to travel in the world. You know where you want to go. I think that's another one. We gotta get up and get around and learn different cultures and just whatever you want to do. Let me know where's your destination. That's cool. All right. Thank you very much. I will see you guys again tomorrow at one point. Really don't know what time it's going to be. But thank you so much. And I wish you an amazing day, wherever you're tuning in from. And awesome. All right. Good night. Good night.